Three, two, one.
Hi, I'm Captain Sinecki with the 220th Public Affairs, and I'm joined by Lieutenant Sinclair Coleman with the 358th Public Affairs. Lieutenant Coleman, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we're glad to have you here. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background?
Yes, so I am Lieutenant Coleman, the commander of the 358th Pad Unit, located in Salt Lake City, Utah. Prior to that, I was a part of a medical unit, HHD 801st, in Fort Sheridan, Illinois.
Okay, right on. And you've been in the Army for how long?
It'll be 3 years this May.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience? How has the Army impacted your life so far?
My experience thus far has been significantly positive. I have enjoyed my time here. I definitely can tell that it has changed me as a person overall. I joined during a significantly tough time in my life, right after a divorce. And I joined for more personal reasons versus financial or any other reason that, soldiers may tend to join. I joined for mental strength and just for that support system, which I definitely have achieved. I've met so many people. I've been able to travel so many places and just overall become a better person.
Well, it's good to hear. Definitely joining for a purpose stronger than just monetary reasons definitely has an impact on the Army that we need today.
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering, what would you suggest to other females that, might be starting their career or thinking about joining the Army?
I think that it is a wonderful opportunity as a woman, specifically as a woman of color in the military. I've noticed significant changes in this short time. We have had a few changes in some of our regulations that have made things a lot more conducive for the African American woman. Those changes such as the hair standards. For women in general, just being able to be a woman, wear your makeup, wear your earrings, or have your nails done. Those little things that still really mean a lot to just be able to represent yourself as a woman in such a predominantly male field.
Yeah.
Those little things give you some sense of peace as just being a woman.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that. And I've been in the Army for 10 years, and I remember when women couldn't wear makeup, women couldn't have ponytails.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely seems like we have progressed as a military.
Yeah, we have significantly progressed. I mean, considering how things used to be compared to how far they've come today, that just shows how much the military is trying to incorporate everyone's cultures and backgrounds into their systems. So.
Yeah, and you talked about some things that the Army, changed that that you didn't like. Were there any barriers that you saw throughout your life that that kind of made you who you are?
Yes, as an African American woman, we face barriers every day. Realistically speaking, we do. But you can't make a diamond without pressure, right?
Yeah.
So we face those challenges and you press forward. You kind of pre-anticipate what is coming. You formulate a thought process to how you can solve it, and you execute the mission.
I like that. I like the diamonds under pressure.
Yeah.
I think it was Bill Gates that said, "Success is an awful teacher. We only learn from our failures." Is there any time in your life, where you failed, and I don't know, it made you strong in the long run, and it kind of taught you?
I feel that every failure that I have made has definitely taught me and made me who I am today. Failure is a consistent teacher to be who you are. You don't become successful without failure. The best leaders in life can't lead without having to have followed at some point. So to speak to failure, yes, it definitely builds you as a person.
Awesome.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah. Fail forward, as I think Denzel Washington always said.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fail forward and fail often.
Yes, I love that.
And obviously it sounds like you joined the Army for a bigger purpose, which I really respect. Is there anyone else other than yourself that you joined the Army for?
I have a daughter, a 10-year-old daughter. I want to be able to be a beacon of light for her.
Okay.
I want her to look at me and say, in spite of everything my mother went through, she accomplished this, this, and this. I want her to look up to me 5, 10, 20 years from now and say, this is my mom, this is my role model. She already looks at me as her hero, so
Yeah.
I want to uphold that standard for her.
So you said you've been in the Army for 3 years. Your daughter is 10 years old.
Correct.
Has she looked at you any differently since you started putting on the uniform?
So I've started teaching her from the moment I joined, just because it was instilled in me. When I wear this uniform, a lot comes behind it. Regardless as to what our rank is, when people see this, they don't see that. Civilians don't really know what our ranks mean. They just see us in uniform, and with this uniform comes a certain standard of respect. So I've started teaching her, when you see me or any other person in uniform, respect, immediately respect them. Know that we're doing our best to make things comfortable for you here at home. No matter your MOS, no matter what you're doing to serve in the military, every soldier is important, and we're all doing something to help the greater good of America.
And she's obviously pretty young, but I mean, in 8 years, she's about that age. Would you support her joining the Army?
I absolutely would. I would support her as soon as she could.
Yeah.
I wish I would have joined younger.
Yeah.
That is probably my only regret, is that I didn't join younger. But yes, if she can, when she can, I am 100% in support of her. I'm in support of any woman who wants to join the military.
Absolutely, that's good to hear. Obviously, it's Black History Month right now,
Yes.
and I'm just wondering, Lieutenant, what does Black History Month mean to you?
To me, it is very significant. Black History Month for me is a time to celebrate my ancestors, those who have come before me and paved the way for me. It is a time to keep their memories alive, a time of teaching for those younger than myself, my daughter, as we mentioned, and let her know the possibilities that are afforded to her due to some of the sacrifices that my grandfather, his great-grandfather have made. African Americans have come so far, not just in the military, but in the world now. You know, there's so much going on, so many changes that are being made, and it's about time, to
Yeah.
be quite honest. I'm a woman that I don't see color. I have African Americans, I have Caucasians, Latinos in my family, and it's a rainbow, you know?
Yeah.
And in the military, we're taught we're all green, so that doesn't matter. And that's something I wish, honestly, that society would adapt as well. Because no matter your color, no matter your cultural background, you all can attribute something to the military. So for me, African Americans, for Black History Month, this time is a time for us to stand up and educate the world on who we are, how far we've come, and where we plan to go.
I really like that answer, and I when you say you don't see color, it kind of makes me think of basic training, where, you know, for the males at least, they shave all our heads.
Mhm.
They want to take away all our civilian clothing, and they want us to really lose our civilian identity and be one. So you think it's about unity, right? Unity as a nation in some respects. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. We cannot, unfortunately, stop discrimination, but we can stop and start to educate people on our cultural backgrounds and differences and how people should be treated. We can educate our children who are growing up. That's where it's really going to start. That's where that change is going to start. It's going to take the generation of 30s and 40s to educate these younger babies that are growing up that we're all people. Color should not matter. Everyone's a person first. And that's something that I know that they're implementing throughout the military now.
Right on. And I know you're busy, so I'm just going to leave you with one last question. You know,
Absolutely.
alive or dead, you know, who is someone you look up to or gives you inspiration?
I will go with alive. And I'm gonna go with my parents. This has been a very, very tough time for us in life. My father had been very ill last year. And just to be able to witness them come together as a married couple and stand by each other in this time has been very inspirational. I am divorced, but I do admire their relationship and them being able to hold that bond in such a difficult time. It's inspirational to see two people who make a commitment together to be able to stand by each other in difficult situations.
You know what's special about that? I think that goes back to the message we were talking about earlier. It's all about unity. And in closing, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day and to speak with us. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
I would like to thank you all for this opportunity as well. I would like to tell any soldier, not just females out there, that if you want to join the military, there are so many different avenues you can take to get into the military, so many different MOSs in which you can be a part of such a great culture. You know, the military for me has changed my life, and I feel that it will be a great opportunity to anyone out there.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. This is Captain Sinecki and Lieutenant Coleman signing off.
Perfect.